J9Glass coming out chat for Tuesday, 2 o'clock time. Here we are. We're going to be doing this on Tuesdays, and I'm going to be making beads today. I would like to make some brighter colors today. The last ones I made were a little bit more on the natural color situation, but that's not as much what I was looking for this session. We're going to be working with these colors, because I feel like those are pretty fun. And I might even add a fluorescent yellow. Oh yes. Take a little green maybe. Now, so we're doing some fire colors. I am going to John Coach. Here we go. One moment. I also want to work with this color, because this is really a rich color. Alright, here we go. What are we going to do first? I'm just off and running. So we're going to make beads today. I'm going to make them for bracelets. I need to get some bracelets going. So I think that I'm going to pull some stringers of all these things. I'm going to pull all the stringers for all these different colors so I can play with them later. So off we go to pull the stringers. Let's do it. Too much heat. Gotta chill that out just a little bit. Welcome. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to heat that up. So I'm working with Italian soft glass. I'm a bead maker, and the technique that I'm doing right now is called lamp working. It means I use a stationary blowtorch to melt and manipulate the glass. Today I'm making beads for a bracelet, and so I'm pulling out what's called stringers. This is a punty. I'm going to pull it out. This is an olive green. It's a really cool color. Pull out some of this. Pull out my palette today, so I think I'm going to be doing olive green, 2 different kinds of red and 2 different kinds of oranges, fluorescent yellow, and pea green. So that's what we're doing. Gonna get a nice stringer going here with the olive. So I've been gone for the past 5 days, so sorry I wasn't live. I was on a trip with a bunch of friends, and that was really fun. And now I'm back and trying to get it together, see how we do. Pull this one out. So I've got a punty, and this is now a, let's see here. I think this is like a type of orange, like a dark orange. Pulling out another stringer. There we go, there's another stringer. Thank you for the like. There we go. Two stringers, right. light orange stringer. Trying to remember to keep my elbows down because it does hurt your shoulders after a while. And I've been in a bad habit of keeping my elbows up, and I shouldn't do that. Although I have really burly back muscles, I must admit. Okay, plenty. I'm gonna pull it out. Go. So it's a lighter orange. I think this one's actually called Halloween. And again, this is Italian soft glass. I'm pulling out stringers. Time to make beads. There we go. Got that nice orange going. Get a stringer together here. There's a stringer. I like to pull mine off of punties. Not everybody does that. Some people like to just grab pliers and just haul them out, but I like to use a punty. That's just how I roll, yo. Just how I roll. Let's try the same color. Always gotta check too and take your glasses on and off because, I don't know about you, but for me, I can't tell sometimes whether it's orange or red, and you have to take off the glasses to be able to see it. So sometimes that's helpful. Welcome. Attach the punky, stretch it out. So for bracelet beads, I want them to be unique and I want it to be kind of funky and fun. I have a tendency to make the same kind of bead all around, so I want to try and get a palette together and just sort of play with it. So we'll see where we end up. There's another stringer. Thank you so much for the like. Alright, here we go. Another one. This is a dark red. The last one was a light red. And we have dark orange and a lighter orange. Pumpkin. And I want this fluorescent yellow because why not? It's a pretty weird color and I love it that it exists. Welcome to Tuesday, 2 o'clock torch time with J9. Feel free to like and subscribe. I will be doing lives every Tuesday at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And sometimes I might even open the comment section. I'm a little bit worried about the comment section. There's trolls out there and I don't like them. So I will do that another day. But today we are making beads. And I am pulling these out. Right, this is dark red. Now we're going to do this crazy fluorescent yellow. It's such a wild color. Look at that. I think it's called acid yellow. Gotta protect those elbows, man. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stretch back out another stringer. Making a punty. There's a punty. Just a clear rod of glass. I'm gonna push the top of it. Let's gather to make like a little disc like that. And I attach it to the other side of this rod of this acid yellow. Boom. There we go. And I'm gonna stretch it out. also lots of different ways to pull out these stringers, I'm here to say, but that's just how I like to do it. I used to make my students learn how to pull stringer like this first. And then I had a student tell me, my friend Jordan, told me that it was cruel, so we stopped doing it. It's not very nice. I thought it was funny, but, and also it helped them learn the viscosity of the glass. That was my logic, but apparently it wasn't awesome. So that's my palette. I love it, love it. So I'm going to start with just some like little spacers first. Steel. And this has bead release on it. Today I am using, what am I using? Sludge Ultra. I think I'm going to start with some green and orange discs. Let's start with spacers actually. I'm just going to do some small ones. Just little guys, y'all. I make little guys too. That's too much heat. Smaller stuff doesn't require quite as much heat. Alright, so there's one little green spacer. Let's do another one. Little olive green spacer babies. Right, okay. Slowly. When it is red hot, it is still on the move. The difference with soft glass is you have to make sure that if you are applying it and you are handling it, if it is red hot, it is still on the move. It is still moving, man. Red hot means it's still on the move. So you keep twisting your mandrel, get that shape out of the flame. Not of the flame, but out of the flame. Okay, here's a few little green spacers. They're cute. Next, we're going to move on to some dotted spacers. We're going to do discs. Alright, here we go. There's 4 of them. I can probably fit some more on there, but this is just 4 little beads. I'm going to put them in the film. These are my first beads of the day, so they're a little not awesome. But that's okay. We go through them and all the best ones stay. Which is how it goes. So let's try. I want to do this orange with green dots. So I'm going to do 2 discs. Start by heating it up. You want to just introduce the metal and the glass to the heat gently. If you add it too fast, it'll pop. Okay, here's one. And I'm going to go a little bit higher on this one and make it a little bit taller. So I'm just going to keep going around and around to make this a much taller bead. And I want it to be kind of disc shaped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it up. And then I'm going to use my pliers, or my, these guys, tweezer bits. Try and get that glass to be even. Gently squish it so it's like more of a disc shape. We go a little bit bigger. I don't want it too big, but I do want it bigger than this. The trick is going slowly. That's when melt at exactly the rate that it can. And once it goes, the soft glass, it's on a move, man. It is fast. So here we go. It's a little disc action there. So it's just a little disc, right? And I'm going to put little dots on it. So I have a red disc, or an orange disc, sorry, it's this color. I know it doesn't look like that color, but that's what it will be when it's cools. And then we're going to put north, south, east, and west dots on it. There we go. North. melt that little guy in a little bit. And we have south. East. West. So just trying to get the corners going. The add amount of glass you need to make them all a little bit even. I know they all look perfect when they're done, but they take a lot of finessing to get right. Go. Alright. Okay, 4. And then I'm going to put little red dots in between those. Little guys. So you put those in between the last ones. Right, so I'm going to do another one of those. I'm going to melt it down just a little bit more. I want those dots to be a little bit melted, but not too much. Alright, let's do it again. Again! It's orange. Actually, for a bracelet, you got to be careful that you don't have too many of those dots that are sticking up, because I'm not sure that they're comfortable. So maybe I should be careful with that. But I'm going to make one more just because I like making them. Do a tiny disc. We're going to do another one a little bit higher, so I'm going to do another one a little bit bigger. Thank you for the likes. Be sure to like and subscribe, y'all. I do lives on Tuesday at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, 2 o'clock Torch Time with J9 on Tuesdays. That's 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, y'all, because I am in Colorado. Go. Flatten it. That's a really weird shape. We're going to try and get that one a little bit more roundish. That one has some strangeness to it. We're going to even out a little bit over here. Better. Okay. We're going to do green, and we'll do orange again. Okay, 4. Move them out a little bit. Alright, then we're going to do this dark orange. Alright. Use these 2 discs. Alright. Those will be cute. But the thing is, they can't be for bracelets because they're kind of uncomfortable, so. Let's do some other ones that are rounded. So I'm going to do 2 striped ones. Or actually, no. Let's do a luccino one. Alright, so I'm going to do this olive green with a few different shades of orange and red, because that'll be funky. There we go. please check out my website right there. Okay, we're doing light orange. And then we're going to do medium red. This color scheme totally gives off 70s vibes. And then dark red. Alright, here we go. So we've got those three colors. Should I add the bright yellow? Yeah, it's too weird. We have to add it. Alright. Now I'm going to twist it out. This. It's a clear piece that I'm going to be using as a punty. The punty is a handle for glass. That term is also used in hot shop. That's large scale glass, which is also soft glass. Has a similar coefficient of expansion as COE as the one I'm using now. This is Moretti Effitre glass, so it's Italian soft glass. I've been doing it a long time. They've got their colors down, and I'm going to attach it here, and we're going to spin it out and twist and pull at the same time. And I want this one to be kind of thin, because I'm going to be making these into beads, like little tiny beads, and I'd like them to have some funkiness to them. It'll be better if I stretch it out thin. So it's just a thin little one. There we go. Now, unfortunately, because these are reds and yellows, we really won't be able to see what they look like until tomorrow. But, c'est la vie, mon cher. That's how it goes. So, twisting this out, get a nice thin little luccino. Also, some people also call these twisties. I tend to call them luccino. That's how I learned. They're called the Twisted King. Right? I think this is going to be hot, so let's check out this. Make beads with them now. So here we go. We have the luccino and a steel with the bead release on it. We heat it up. Give it a little bit of heat. Give it some heat. Alright, it's going to smoke a little bit. But you want to get that mandrel to where it's red hot. But you don't want to cook the holy heck out of it, because then it'll cook off the exactly what you're trying to heat up. So I'm just going to make a few beads with these, because these are fun. I like how random these are going to look. They'll be a little bit swirly because of all the different colors I used. Instead of doing a bunch of them, I think I'm going to do something special with this. So I'm going to take this clear, I'm going to put little dots of clear around it, and then we're going to encase it. I'm just going to do 2 on this mandrel. Anything encased, I don't think I can personally do more than 2. But some people can. It's not me though. Little clear dots. We're going to melt them all the way down, and then we're going to encase it. And it kind of creates sort of like a honeycomb kind of effect, if you will. It's kind of honeycomb. We're going to encase them. Okay. You gotta make sure when you're encasing that you go right up against your last layer. And you're going to kind of be able to see what these little clear dots do with the beads once I finish this next one. So when you put clear onto an opaque, it kind of creates this cool effect. It'll be more visible to tomorrow when I can really count. But get right up close to the hole. And try and stack it a little bit. Get your layers right next to each other. Right, and then melt them all out flat. Remember, when it's red hot, it's on the move, so you want to take it out of the flame. If you are working with a soft glass and you just keep going with that, it just turns into super goo, and it's not what you're trying to do. It's kind of hard to see. Those will be cooler tomorrow. They have like little windows in them, if you can see that. They have little clear windows in them, so. But look how fun this luccino is. It's brown and it's really cool. So I'm going to do a larger bead with this because I think this is awesome. So we're going to do that. I'm also going to add a element of weirdness. We're going to add this periwinkle to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bead with this periwinkle, and then we are going to put some of that luccino in it, and then I'm going to put clear over that, and then we are going to draw with a blue periwinkle case stringer that I already made. Get the steel hot, get the clay warm enough to accept the glass. And gently, slowly, add your first layer of glass. That should be about right. I don't want to be a ginormous bead, I want it to be a medium-sized bead. We will see if this is the right size to go onto the bracelet, but if not, I will make it with something else. No problem. Alright. So on a nice base, try and get your bubbles out. Don't get it too hot. Cool it down a little bit. It's a little bit too hot. Alright. A little bushier flame. If it gets too hot, it starts to bubble up more than I want you to. Alright, so I'm going to take my flat paddle, and any like bubbles you get, you want to kind of, what I usually do is I pop them, and then I use my paddle to kind of push in where you can see the mandrel. So when you get a bubble, usually you can see into the clay where the mandrel is. Not with all bubbles, but that first pass of glass that does happen. Okay, so I'm getting it nice and warm. I'm going to roll it out a little bit. Periwinkle blue is such a pretty color. Alright, then I'm going to take this awesome luccino that I made, and I'm going to go from the bottom to the top, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space in it. And I'm going to put clear over that. So let's see. Start at the bottom. And apply the luccino. That step looks like. Alright, and now I'm going to take clear and go on the blue part of it so that it keeps everything separate. Now I want to get the clear stinking hot, but I don't want to get the bead too hot, because if I get the bead too hot, it'll smear. I just want to get it to where the clear is being pushed into the crevice between the luccino and the last layer. Boom, just like that. Right? I'm going to melt that down. Someday this will melt down. We'll leave the music up to my music over here. Bad idea, let me do the music. I like hip-hop beats. Alright, nice. Alright, so now that that's all melted down, now I'm going to put clear over that. So whenever you're encasing, you want to be heating where you're going, not where you are. So heat closer to this hand than this hand. Questions that people usually ask is it hot there? No. The heat doesn't travel up the metal or the glass rod. So I can feel a little bit of warmth, but it's not hot. So all the way around. Alright. And then I'm going to melt it all out again. Melt it out. Go. Thank you so much for joining me. I was out of town, so I did not do my lives that much last week. But I will definitely be here on Tuesdays for 2 o'clock torch time with J9. And that's 2 o'clock torch time. So we're going to do that every Tuesday. So definitely like and subscribe to my channel and come join me for a little bit of torch time. Usually go for about an hour. Okay, so we got one layer of encase, and we're going to do another layer of that. Oh, we got a bubble. And we got a bubble. Come here, little rascal. Gotcha. Punk. Bubbles are not my favorite. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to roll it out just a little bit to get it a little bit more round since I just screwed up the shape because I had a bubble. And it happens. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to encase it again. Go. Can't tell they had a bubble. Haha. Sneaky. There we go. Try and get it in as close to the hole as you can. And then each layer, you want to get it very hot and push it up against the last layer you did. Of course, now it's quiet. Whatever. Okay, so I'm going to do this next layer of clear. Here we go. I just want to give it a little bit more dimension before I put the squiggles on top of it. The more clear I put on this right now, the more you'll be able to see the inside latitudinal. So I might do even one more small layer of clear. I love me some clear, if you didn't notice. I encase almost everything. I can't help it. We can use clear. If I have the ability to use clear, that's what I'm going to do. That's a jam right there. Yeah. All right. Even that out. I have my clear going to each end of the hole, each end of the bead to make sure that I'm as close to the hole as I can get. And then I'm going to melt it all out, a little bit of an angle. Make sure I can get that nice pucker on your side of the bead. A little pucker. bubble came back, y'all. Let's see it. You see it right there? That's a bubble. So I am going to try to take it out. It is going to screw up the design a little bit, but I'm hoping that if I put my other designs on top of it, that it will make it not look as obvious. We will see. Mightn't this go into the pick? Maybe. The pick, in case you didn't know, is beads that I screw up on, and it happens. Beads that I screw up and go in a pile, and they go into a little jar. And then for Christmas every year, I let my aunt and my sister and my mom and my partner go through all the glass, and they can take whatever they want. So it starts with the dice roll or whatever, and they figure out what the lowest, I don't know if it's the lowest or the highest number, I guess they call it. And then they start, and they go one by one, and they pick up beads, and then they trade them, and it's just tons of fun. So if you're a bead maker, I recommend you do that, because it's pretty fun. People like that. Although now some of not my best stuff is now all over the place, but whatever. Okay, so this is periwinkle encased stringer, and I'm not sure if that bubble is out all the way, but we're going to do this. Hopefully, oof, boy, man, that sucked. So my finessing that into the flame was not successful. So the finesse is important. Here we go. Finesse, finesse, finesse. I'm going to grab it here, and we're going to start. Cool thing. So I'm just drawing squiggly lines on it. It's good to give it a bunch of space, or you won't be able to see what's underneath it. That's why I put a lot of clear on it. And we will see if that bubble rears its head again. I hope it doesn't. Okay. That's what that looks like. Right? That's why clear, y'all. That's why. So I'm going to melt it down. And then we're going to put clear over that again. That's what we do. Thank you for joining me for J9's 2 o'clock torch time on Tuesdays. Tuesday, 2 o'clock torch time with J9. Here we are. So I'm going to be doing lives every Tuesday. I was doing them every day for a little while, but boy, that wore me out. So we're just going to do once a week. And if I feel like doing it, it'll be about 2. But I will definitely be here every Tuesday. Sometimes I throw the camera on just because I have to be here anyway. So why not take you with me? It's what we're doing. Okay, so I'm melting down those lines I just showed you. And I think I got that bubble. Yes. Yeah, looks like he's not coming back. Aha! Bubble defeated. And this is what that looks like now. It's kind of hard to see, but it's pretty cool. So I'm going to encase that. Oh boy, it's almost time to buy some clear. Yikes. Clear. Another thing I'm going to do that's kind of fun is I'm going to put little dots in the lines. I've never done this before, but I kind of wanted to play with something fun today, so we're going to do that. So I'm going to put little dots in the lines. We'll do a few different colors. There are dots in the lines that we use for luccino. Alright, so I put little dots on all the lines so that you can kind of see it. I feel like when I put the periwinkle down, it kind of disappeared a little bit, so I'm going to bring it back up by putting matching colors from the first layer with the luccino directly on the encased dots. Now, the stringer that I used was encased. If it wasn't encased, it wouldn't be able to do this the same way. Just so you know. That periwinkle was encased. Okay, so that was just a orangish red we used. And so I'm going to do orange next. This one looks like it's kind of hard to see, but I think this one's going to be really neat. Here we go. More dots on the squiggle line. Let's go. Maybe I'll just do these two colors. I feel like doing too many colors. I feel like if I leave the other colors out, it'll help bring green when it cools. Whether or not I'll do that, I don't know. But I think it should. That is what I'm hoping for. So my style tends to be a lot of squiggles and lines and dots. I like things to be a little abstract. I've been wiring jewelry too, so I'm making a lot of beads and making charms, little things for keychains and stuff like that with my beads. But I also make sculpture and I do paintings, and I have a website. So check out my website at J9Glass.art. There, it's my website, and I also teach classes here at the Manitou Art Center in Manitou Springs, Colorado. This bead is going to be awesome, so I'm going to encase it one more time. Ooh, this one's going to be funky. Funky. I'll tell you what. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so now you can see what this looks like. So this is with the dots. It's a little confusing, but it is going to be pretty cool once it cools. Especially since I'm going to put more clear over it. Right? Isn't that weird? Okay, let's go. Put the clear on top of that. I think that's going to be awesome. Okay. It's like the line got chicken pox or something. Get a little bit of gunk off the front here. I don't know why my music is not anymore, but it's just what it is. Alright. There we go. All the way around. Start as close as you can to the whole base. Put your heat on the clear, not on your project. If you put the heat on your bead and not on your clear, you will smear it all over the place. So be sure and keep your heat on the edge of the clear rod, right above where the bead is. So heat where you're going, not where you are. Again, I'm a lamp worker, which means I use a stable blowtorch, solid blowtorch, with oxygen and propane. Could be other kinds of gas, but it means I use a blowtorch to also manipulate sticks or tubing of glass. And so that's what this is. And I'm making a glass bead right now. It's going to be super cool. It's going to be a neat one. Too bad I don't have any music to roll it in with, but whatever. Here we go. Come on, it's coming. You just gotta wait for it. And this is why I usually have the music on, because you just gotta wait. Gotta wait for it. If you pull too hard at this stage of the glass and you're trying to be in a hurry, it will break the bead release inside the bead, and then it'll be loose all over the place. So you won't be able to catch it with the clear. It's a little wobbly, which is a technical term. Wonky, wobbly, lots of very technical phrases that I use. Glass is very internal, it's very intrinsic. You need to be just paying attention to a lot of things at once, and then lots of practice, and it's really fun. I recommend you try it. Wherever you are, I recommend taking a glass bead making class with soft glass. There are lots of bead makers all over the place, believe it or not, we're around, and a lot of them teach classes. So the best thing too is you start out with a basic bead. I mean, I teach basic bead making. So the very first class that you take, you learn how to make a spacer. I make it look easy, but I've been doing this for 26 years. So there's that. But I can teach how to do it. So it just takes a lot of patience. And we're going to be here forever waiting for this clear to go, but it will eventually melt. Yes, it will. I believe in you, clear. Do it. It's coming. It's coming. This is going to be a cool one. I can't wait to get some film tomorrow. This will be my morning treat when I come back into the studio to look at my kiln. It's always good to have at least one bead in there that you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to open the kiln. Gotta have at least one of those in there. Otherwise, it's just production and you're just making the same stuff over and over again. And I know from experience that's a terrible idea. So you should at least have a little bit of playtime in your lampworking journey, especially if you do this for a living. You have to make the fun stuff too. Like, oh, I wonder what this would do. If I had the money, I'd take lots of classes, but I don't. So we just learn by doing it. And of course, you know, a little bit of YouTube and lots of friends that do the glass, and that's it. But practice is really the thing. You must practice. Time on torch, y'all. Time on torch. Taut. I'm gonna use gravity to kind of even this bad boy out, because I've got one side that's puckering really nice and the other side that is not. What is going on? Bring that down just a little bit. Alright. That bubble totally came back. It's very sad. Well, the bubble came back. So, it's kind of a bummer. So we're going to stop working on it because I can't have a bubble in there. So I don't know if you can see it, but it was really cool. See right there? There is in fact a big old bubble right there. So, you're not going to like this, but I'm going to kill it in the water. And it's going to be a sizzly sound. It's going to pop. And that's what's going to happen. Ready? Say goodbye. Bye! And I had to kill it. So, sometimes you have to kill the bead. When you do that, the best thing is if you liked the design, you do it over again. So I'm going to do it over again, and let's do a smaller one, because I usually don't like to be any longer than an hour on my lives, but we'll do another one. Let's try that one more time. And let's get the music going, because we're come on. Looking for music, hold on, I'm coming. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay. All right. So because I well, yeah, since I screwed that one up, we're gonna do it again. Everybody breathe. The one I just did just got put in the water and sizzled because there was a bubble in it, and you really can't have bubbles, y'all. And you know, sometimes you overheat it, and sometimes they crack, and sometimes you're working on it for 3 hours and it cracks midway because you were not paying attention to the heat. So It's just the name of the game with the glass, to be honest with you. It happens, and anybody that does the glass in any form at all knows that sometimes you're gonna screw it up. So, on we go. Let's do it again. I guess sip my tea first. All right. No whining. Let's go. Okay. With a smile, we're going to do this again. It's a little nerve-wracking, but it totally happens sometimes. So, that's just what it is. I still have more luccino left. I think I have enough to make a smaller bead. So I'm going to make another one. And we're going to start with the blue. This is periwinkle blue. And we're going to go do a little bit longer today because it's probably going to take a little bit. I'm going to make it smaller though, so it's a little bit easier to wield. It's possible my oxygen is too hot. Trim down the heat a little bit. See if that helps. Get that mandrel nice and red hot so it'll accept the glass. And I'm going to put the periwinkle on for my first layer of glass. This is a much smaller little bead. It's a happy little tiny bead, so we're going to do a smaller one this time. Otherwise, it's going to take me an hour to finish the other one. So I like the style of it, though, so we're going to do it again. Alright. I'm going to get that periwinkle blue to a nice base bead. Again. Roll it out. Just a little bit. Not too hard, just a little bit. Don't want to get too hot. There we go. I think turning down the heat's probably going to help. I'm going to use my luccino. Look how cute that is. Such a cool luccino. And we're going to do this again. There we go. Yeah, I've always found it's better to do it right away. It's especially a pain if I'm doing a cane, because some of these things take a very long time to do, and you don't realize if you screwed it up until you're done with it. And that's fun. Not to encourage you guys to do the glass, but I'm here to say that sometimes it can be really frustrating. But I guess that's the same with anything. But glass doubly so. Okay, this one's going to be cuter, it'll be smaller, it'll be better, it'll take as long. It doesn't have any bubbles so far. Okay, so I've got my luccino melted in, and I've given a little bit of space in between each one of those luccinos, wraps, right? There we go. You know, it could be that I shouldn't have chosen the periwinkle. And this is why lives are so fun, because if you screw up, that's awesome. I'm going to put twists in this one, actually. So I've got luccino that's already there, and we're going to twist it around. Give it a little bit more foof on the inside. Make it a little bit more chaotic in there. Come here. You can do it. There you go. So I'm going to twist the glass so it kind of gives it a little bit more flair. See that twist? Right? So I'm going to twist it again. Do 4 twists in there. Several twists going on. So it's the same colors. I just added a twist to the bead because I'm still going to be putting the encased stringer over it in periwinkle. I'm going to melt this one up. That shape better. Remember, it's red hot, it is on the move. Okay. Keep melting it out. Here we go. So I go do 2 o'clock torch time with J9 on Tuesday. Tuesday's 2 o'clock torch time. And usually if I'm on torch, I will always be on torch on Tuesdays at 2. But I'll also do occasional ones just because I feel like it. But it'll always be at 2. So you can always count on me to be here at Tuesdays. But I may be out of town the rest of the time. Although sometimes I like to pop on. This is what this looks like when it's melted. Alright, now we are going to encase it, hopefully. Melt it out to get a little bit better shape. Alright, clear. In a second, kind of weird shape. The shape can be a little weird and you can kind of manipulate it with the clear to kind of fix it a little bit, but it would be better to just have it the right shape initially. Okay, so now we're going to put clear over this. I think the periwinkle is kind of like the white in the way that it is a little bit more prone to bubble than some colors. White is like that too. Some colors are just a little bit softer and don't require as much heat, and they just melt like crazy, and then they get a little ornery. Gotta watch those ornery colors. EDP is another ornery color. That stuff's, once you know how to wield it, it's okay. You just have to use an oxidizing flame, but still, it's a little, why, yeah, so much. So, can melt this out. We got our little swirly bits in there, and then I'm going to put a periwinkle ribbon through it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. There we go. Now that's encased. And this is the same song over and over again, maybe. I don't think so, though. I think they're just announcing who's doing it. Okay. Blue. As a matter of fact, I like it just like this. We're not even going to put a spoon in it. So. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, I'm going to put it in the kiln now. And that'll do it for today. It's an hour. It's about all I can do for the day. But thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe to my page. And I will be doing lives at 2 o'clock. So it's 2 o'clock torch time with J9. I will be here again next Tuesday and possibly throughout the week at 2 o'clock. So definitely on Tuesdays, but other days, maybe, but definitely on Tuesdays. So I will see you later. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.